Hey everyone, so it looks like my first search location is not going to be quite as scientific as I was hoping. I tend to be skeptical of psychics. However, I have seen cases where the Dennis Martin investigation that I talked about recently in my video on that case, there was a psychic who pointed the father and an investigator to a hiker shelter where they actually found evidence of a crime or something that had happened. So there are incidents where they provide vague information that sometimes points people in the right direction. This is one of those cases. I can't believe I'm actually going to do this, but right now I have nothing else to go on yet. I want to try this location based on the descriptions that I saw in the psychic that I'm looking at is, and many of you likely know about her, is Donna Seraphina. She calls herself Reverend Donna Seraphina. She has done a bunch of readings, and some of the descriptions, I collected all the descriptions of places where Summer currently is, and it was difficult because a lot of the locations, a lot of the landmarks that she provided were locations where supposedly she was, but she got moved multiple times, I think. But consistently, there were a few things that popped up that she kept saying where she is now, her final location. Some of those things that popped up, and I'll explain why this is relevant to me because of things I know about locations in Kingsport. She kind of made note of something like a V sign. She said 2 poles come out from one concrete pillar holding something. She thought it might be a sign, but keep in mind that she described 2 poles coming out from a concrete pillar. You can see planes taking off from where she was put. There's a chain link fence, barn door that slides open. It's at the bottom of a ravine, under or in a hollow log. There's an iron gate to get in. On the sides are brick columns or cinder block. There's a brick house with white columns, may or may not be at that location. She wasn't sure. Could be at some previous locations or on the way there. Potentially past a funeral home to get there, potentially nearby a brewery with barrels. Lots of bushes hang over into the river. That one is very relevant. Lots of bushes hanging into the river. The river across from the loading docks. The location is across from the loading docks. That's very relevant to this particular spot I'm thinking of. You can see the airport in the distance, or at least see planes taking off. Not where people normally walk. Along the track where the boat goes, the boat comes into play, the railroad track comes into play, there's a big bridge, and under an overpass. All of those last things I mentioned, at least the last 6 or 7, all match a particular spot that I have no other choice but just to go and kind of take a look around. Who knows? It could be a potential spot. It could be at least evidence or something. I can't believe I'm doing this, but if I go to a location and I end up finding it, I don't 100% trust local authorities. I trust the TBI. I think that would be where the report would go. But we'll see. This is the first. I'm going to show you on the Google Earth. It's the location I'm going to. And if I don't find anything, I'm probably not going to post this video initially because I really don't want to alert people to the location that I'm trying to scour. So if I don't find anything, I want to be able to look at another location, another spot around there without raising alarm bells for whoever might have hidden her there. So, but if in the case where there's potentially something, I'm going to show you my thinking process. On Google Earth, you can see Domtar Park. It's a baseball field. I forgot to mention that she had mentioned there's a baseball field there. That park goes in 2 directions. I want to try both directions. One of them in particular, if you walk along the river, I don't think it's gated off. I'm not sure. There's a huge one of those towers for power that's made out of steel. I think that's relevant to the crossbars, the steel crossbars that Donna was trying to describe, but couldn't quite describe it. I think that's relevant. The location at that particular tower is directly across from a business that has loading docks right across the river, right across the road. There's one particular bushy area right near that tower, right across from the loading docks. That's where I want to check first. Maybe even drop my camera into the water, or even get in the water, I don't know, to see if I can, if we can search the water in any way. If that spot isn't fruitful, I'm going to go across. If you go on the other end of Domtar, the baseball field, they have a big grassy area that's kind of called the Long Island of Kingsport, that goes all the way to a point. It's almost like this island with a smaller river on one side and the bigger part of the river on the other. And along that island, semi-island, are other bushy areas that I think are worth checking out. It's near an overpass. You can very likely see planes taking off from Tri-Cities Airport from there. You can see rolling hills, which Donna also mentioned. From that spot, you can see a lot of landmarks that she described. I'm going to suspend disbelief about psychics, because Donna actually in the past has very specifically solved crimes. That was 100% on. She was scarily accurate. So for now, I'm going to suspend disbelief. And just check this out. It can't hurt anything to check out the area. So we'll see how this one goes. I'll take you with me once I head out tomorrow, and we'll see what we see. Good morning, everyone. It's a Sunday after the time change in the fall, so I actually feel fantastic today. I feel rested. Today, I'm doing my first official, or what I'm admitting to be a search for summer. There's so little evidence. There's so few people willing to talk. Actually, no one willing to talk who could have information. Right now, I'm really struggling to get, I think after years of getting attacked, of being accused, of just, having certain experiences with YouTubers, that any time anyone else reaches out to anyone at this point, everyone's clammed up. There's no information at all. Other than rumors. But for today, I really want to get out there and start looking with nothing to go on. I'm doing something I never thought I'd be doing. Donna Seraphina has a verified history of solving cases, or successfully describing the location of where crimes were solved before they were solved, which is impressive and rare. She did a reading for Summer Wells. All of the description I gave in the intro matched a few places in Kingsport that I remember seeing. One in particular, Domtar Park, has all of these features. So I'm going to jump in my Jeep. I'm going to drive over there. I'm going to search those two areas that I told you about, but I'm going to show you the drive over there, because I want to show you how many of the landmarks she described, rolling hills, Bays Mountain, train tracks, even boats, is relevant in more than just the fact that boats go through there. And I think you'll see that from the drive, from the road, the Iron Gate. Just so many things line up that I can't resist checking it out, even though I'm extremely skeptical. So let's head over there. I'll show you what the landmarks look like, and then we'll get to searching. So here's the thing about this location and why I chose it. Number one, there's the river all along here. There's the overpass that was mentioned. The loading docks are along the river that way, and that's the walking path that I definitely want to check out. The place that made raise my eyebrows was not in that direction, to the Long Island walking trails, because Donna made a comment that was basically where people don't walk, which is honestly all on this side. This side, there's I think it's a sewage treatment plant or some kind of treatment plant up there. You can see the chain link fence that she mentioned. Of course, there's chain link fences all around here, but there's a chain link fence. She kind of mentioned these things in the order, again, of someone who would be driving here with the overpass, parking, chain link fence. It was all in that order. And at the end, it was the bushy area. And I don't know if it says no trespassing. I'm gonna go check in that corner. But the corner of the chain link fence over there goes to the river, thinking maybe they allow fishermen to go along the river. I think the riverbanks are legal. Like I said, I don't break the law when I do these videos, so I'm not gonna go where it says no trespassing. But I'm gonna go to the riverbank and I'm gonna see if I can follow it to that spot that I mentioned with the bushes. As you can see, I bought 300 feet of rope, over 300 feet of rope. The diameter that I could slip it into the holder on my camera, so that, and unfortunately it'd be upside down, but I'd like to be able to basically go fishing by hooking the rope into my camera. The camera's waterproof, it's a GoPro 10, so I can put it in like 140 feet of water if I want to. And my selfie stick floats, so what I can do is actually tie it to my selfie stick, cast my selfie stick out there and pull it toward the shore, and basically fish, like pull that through so the camera can scan the bottom of the river as it comes along. Unfortunately, the current may push it, so I may have to play a little bit with that. But I may do some fishing if I don't see anything along the banks. But I want to scour this area here, and if I can't find anything on the land, in the bushes, or in the water, then I'll go to the Long Island area, take those walking trails, and go all the way to the tip, and just scan along the river, maybe do more fishing, and we'll see what happens. But this is pretty isolated. If somebody wanted to hide something and not be seen, this definitely would be the area to see it. You can see Bays Mountain in the background. In her visions, Bays Mountain keeps coming up. The only thing I'm not seeing is that you can see airplanes taking off and landing. This is pretty far from Tri-Cities Airport. Tri-Cities Airport is in that direction. And by the time they get over here, I would think the planes wouldn't be that low. They're not essentially taking off, although there is an airport, a smaller airport beyond that hill over there. So it's conceivable that sometimes, maybe, but that's the only thing that doesn't quite match up. I'm gonna start poking around, see if I can see hollow logs, any kind of barrel or box anywhere, and call it in if I see anything. So let's start looking. There's no way to walk through that. It looks more like a drain than anything else. I can see the water is very, very clear and not very deep. I'm not gonna need to fish anything. If there's anything in there, I'm gonna see it along this bank. There's no way you'd hide anything in here unless the water was high at the time. Let me show you what this looks like. I'll get closer to the underpass. I don't think this is a spot that's very likely. You have to be a complete idiot to put anything, to try to hide anything this close to the park and right under a busy overpass, near a busy parking lot, I'm sure during games, but there's nothing down here. This is so shallow. It's all rocks. I can see the bottom very clearly. It wasn't easy hopping over to this concrete pad. It was hard enough getting over here. I might actually walk on the logs over there. So let's get across back to the shore. Just so you know, I am looking under things, obviously. I saw a plank right there. Lifted it up. So I'm gonna walk along the shore here, keep an eye on the water, but mostly I want to get up around the back side of that to that tower. lot of fish in here. I saw them right near the shore actually. Good sized fish. Yeah, see, this is accessible here. Pretty sure people go fishing here, so I think it's okay. Obviously, snakes as usual. But oh yeah, people do come here, but it is the side that is not walked. So the key here with this, to try to save time and not constantly be diving over here, you know, looking along here, is I want to get to what Donna referenced to as a bushy area. And it doesn't make sense until you're on location and you can see that there's a bushy area there near the parking lot. But she mentions a train bridge and an overpass and the bushy area. And as you walk halfway along here, I don't know if you can see it on film, but in the distance you can see the train bridge over there. Now if it was me and I was trying to hide something, I wouldn't put it near the parking lot, and I definitely wouldn't put it near the road at the other end. I would pick a place fairly well hidden halfway where nobody comes. This isn't a trail. It looks like they potentially mow every now and then, but no one goes down by the water over there. So this is spot number one. I really wanted to just dive into, see if I can get on the back side of the bushes. In particular, she said an area where the bushes hang over the water, and I can actually see the tree branches hanging over. If I can get right to that tree near the water, that would be amazing. But I'll try my best. I'll see if there's actually a obvious trail someone might have taken to get down in there. Ooh, I just scared up a bird. What I'm doing right now is scanning the back side of these bushes to see if there is a trail that goes right down through the center. It looks like there's not at all. Possibly at this tower, and there's not. Here I'm at the tower. Oddly enough, there's an animal cage. Don't know what that's all about. It's a trap, actually. It's an animal trap. So this may be the way to get down. It looks a little thinner here. As I walk down, I'm carefully scanning the ground all around here at the base of this tower. Where the birds were, I was wondering what kind of keeps them there. But now that I'm under, I don't see anything underneath there, just except, yeah, nothing. Just the ground and a very small piece of wood. Nothing under there that I can see from this side. And I can see pretty well in there on the ground. I'm much more interested in the water, and interestingly, there's a trail. Either fishermen rarely come out here, or who knows, water animals as well. But I finally got to the water side, which is really nice. Gonna try to get to that tree. Again, I'm keeping an eye out for, man, those fish are big. I can actually see the fish in the water. I'm keeping an eye out for anything, folks. Hollow log, barrel, fox, anything. And I'm not seeing anything here. Again, it's really shallow. I don't know if the water's normally this shallow or just today and we lucked out. Nothing on this side. I'm gonna go toward that tree if I can. I think the trail goes in that direction, and I'm gonna take a look under that tree where the leaves hang out over the water. It feels weird. It feels weird here. And it may just be in my head, honestly. I'll get to that tree. All right, guys, I found it's a little disturbing, but Found a mound of fresh dirt with a sinkhole on one side, about the length of a body. The branches are over it, but they look like they could be new growth within the past 2 years, I guess. I don't know. It's creepy. I brought a shovel, heavy duty shovel. Yeah, let me show you the sinkhole. Which could be a couple of things. The fact that there is a sinkhole means that it could be an animal that basically dug that hole and kind of pushed this dirt out. But the mound goes that way. I guess I'm digging. I'm just gonna get my shovel out here. I'm gonna poke around. So I thought that as I started going down, this would be like something fishermen dug up, like digging worms and shit. Because I've seen places like that before. There's no roots, there's nothing, it's all soft dirt. It's all soft. It's really creepy. I actually don't know that I should be doing this. I think I might want to call TBI first and ask them for their opinion. I don't even know what to do at this point. I don't think I should be disturbing this, so but it could be nothing. I don't know. All right, folks, I dug this huge top part off, and I think I've got to the cavity on this side. There's a hole that opened up right here. It kind of dropped down, which tells me I've gotten down to a cavity. I pray to God this isn't it. I swear, honestly, I know you all want me to find her. I just don't want to have to explain that the way I found her was a f***ing psychic. But if she's here, somebody has to find her, so I want to call TBI, but I feel like they'll think I'm a f***ing idiot for reporting in a mound of dirt that is in no location that anybody said it should be. The moment I see something, I'm just gonna call, but I've got to find something to have a valid reason to call. If I see a piece of hair, a finger, I don't give a hell what it is, I'm stopping and I'm calling. So, I'm almost there. It's a deep one. It's deep. It's really deep. I'm hitting roots at this point. They're not thick roots. They're ones that could grow in 2 years. So the dirt is very soft. And I don't know if that's normal here. It is near the water, but the fact that it's a mound is not right. I got a stupid little, it's industrial quality, but it's still a camp shovel. Really didn't think I'd have to dig that deep, which is probably pretty stupid because if they want to hide something, it's going to be 6 or more. So 6 feet is very deep. And I'm getting sunburned. I've got to figure something else out. But I'm probably sticking to this location. And I'm hoping whoever did this doesn't come back before I can get down deeper. But I need a bigger shovel. Okay, so when I got home, I, after a lot of consideration, didn't know what to do. If it was even important enough to bother anyone about, I was thinking, should I grab a shovel, a larger shovel, and go back and dig it up? I kept on thinking if there was anything there that I didn't want to disturb, you know, evidence, or I wasn't sure. So before I actually made that decision, I did email TBI. Didn't want to call because I didn't want to make it a bigger deal than it was. So I just emailed the tip line and I asked them for their advice. I explained what I found, how I found it, and I told them, you know, if they're not interested, I'll just go out there and keep on digging. They said they wanted to follow up on all tips. They wanted to check it out, just do a quick have me meet them there and take a look at what it is. I met them there the next day, and they brought some of those long core sampling rods that they use to check the ground, and they stuck a few of those into the mound. At first, it didn't seem like it was soft enough, but then there seemed to be a void of some kind. So they said they were going to call in cadaver dogs to check out the area. I gave them a couple days. I kept on just wondering when I could go back, if they would find anything, whatever. And after a couple days, I texted the TBI agent I had originally talked to and asked him if they were done there. They didn't have to give me any details, any results, but I just wanted to be able to go back, but not while they were active there. I wanted to give them their time and their space to check it out. And he said they checked out the area and that they were all set, they were done. So apparently they didn't find anything. So I will probably get back to that park and scan the rest of the area, but I taken the week to try to figure out my strategy here. Donna Seraphina's predictions or readings are all over the place. She's got a map of potential areas to check out, but that map spans across almost all of the Tri-Cities, from the airport to Kingsport to Jonesboro, and there's at least 100 or more pins, and it's just too wide of an area. So I'm reconsidering kind of my strategy, try to make it more targeted. Again, I keep trying to talk to people. No one will talk at this point. So not sure where I'm going to go next. I have some ideas. Not that that type of approach is what I want to take 100%, because like I said, I've always been kind of a skeptic, and I prefer something solid, some hard evidence, some tip that from someone who's seen something or knows something. But for lack of that, if I can't get much of that, I've got to go with whatever I can to pick new locations to check out. I've got a few areas. I may return to Laurel Run, to be honest, because of just a preponderance of information out there not related to Fred Hill. So I don't know. I'm not sure yet where I'm going next, but I just wanted to kind of let you all know the conclusion of this one. It was nothing there, and I'm just going to keep on continuing to find new locations and search. So that brings us on to a conclusion. See you all next time.
Rage, waves break, all the sanctuary made. Hands they hold what matters most, the faith in which I'm saved. Ooh.